Okay, so in this tube is a shift linkage for the C10. It is from Johnny Law Motors, and if you read, important, instructionsnow.com is where you get the instructions for it. It don't work. There is no other site to get the instructions, and there is no other place to get the instructions. So, basically I'm going to be winging it. But, I mean, it's not exactly rocket science. Let's see here. Clearly, there's a loop down in there. Let me see, get it all out for you here. Yep. Clearly, this part goes on your transmission in this little thingy. Clamps down, and that goes on your shifter for your transmission under the vehicle. And this goes to your column shifter. I mean, it's not super science here, but the one thing that got me on all of them I looked at, besides the Johnny Law one, that black rubber part was up here together with this black rubber part. Now, could it be like this? Maybe, but maybe it's not. So, I'm going to try to do a little research on it and put this thing on and see what we actually get out of it. Okay, this is the actual shift linkage, and there is absolutely no instructions for this thing online. Even the other companies that are about the same one do not show instructions of any kind. So I guess I'm literally going to wing it. I'm going to see if I need to put both of these, the plastic pieces on this one, through the shift bushing that's usually there. If it needs both of them, I'll put both of them. And this side will just be hanging free, I guess. But it's got a lot of room to tighten up as it is, so. And this part right here, this big nut, it literally just walks back and forth. It's got threads on it, but I don't understand why it literally doesn't thread. So, okay, but that's what we're dealing with. Your options are this one for, I think this was $45. There's another one for like $60, and then like the low car one's like $120. So, I'm cheap, went with this one. Okay, so maybe you can see the problem I'm gonna have here. See if you can't get the camera. Okay. Down there, if it'll focus, that nut is the shifter. Now if you pull back, up here is the linkage. I'm going to have to get all of this noise down through here and probably Z-bend this shaft. Z-bend it to make it work. But first things first is, one, it doesn't look like, get this crap back out of here for a second, okay? One, it doesn't look like this is even going to be big enough to go on there. And two, the nut that is on there is too big for this. So, let's jack it up. Let's see what I can figure out. This is the shift portion of the trans. Nut goes on top. Now what you're gonna do is you get rid of the arm. You got to get rid of the electronics that are behind it too. Get rid of that. This is your new shifter portion, which the nut actually fits in, and the socket fits in wicked tight, but it's not tight enough to where you can't turn it. So now Luckily for me, I jacked it up and I can put my arm down in there. I just gotta put this baby on, put the nut on, and tighten it, which is way down there. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So after playing with it a little bit, I feel like that's a good spot in the shift area. So the linkage up here can push down, but I'm gonna have to bend my rod because this only goes so far to the left, and this one you don't want to go real far to the right, so I'm gonna have to put a nice pretty big swoop-de-poo in it. I already started, but this much of the rod that's how much bend I got. It's not enough. Gonna have to take it even further. Alright, so I forgot to film the ending here, but you can unbolt your top mount, screw your rod in to either side, and the transmission part down there in the very bottom, you'll have to adjust that several hundred times. That's a joke. You won't have to adjust it that many times, but you will have to adjust it a lot. Because you need to find a place where when you put it in park, it's all the way up, and when you put it down into first, it's all the way, it goes into its positions. So, let me see here. Turn my key on. All the way down. Goes into first. All the way back up in the park. No problems. Now, this is quite an easily universal kit, but this ain't gonna work on like a Dodge or anything. Most of the Dodges are actually got the shifter arm on the passenger side, or I'm sorry, on the driver's side. Chevys are on the passenger. But pretty easy kit. What does suck is no instructions, so, well, the instructions are online, but I could never get them to work, as I said. But it's pretty simple to figure out. It's all good. You gotta bend your rod every which way you can to get it to fit. Other than that, it works, so that's all that matters. Please like, share, and subscribe. We could really use the help. Truck's coming along good. There'll be updates and future videos to come. So please, keep watching.